Okay, so it turned out that I didn't have my mic setup going. So, welcome. It's working now. How you doing, Scott? Um, okay. My kid walked in. I went to mute and noticed that OBS wasn't picking up any audio. So, it is now. I'm thinking of renaming this to be like begin like database begin checksum mismatch, something like that. There we go. Better now that the sanity of Rust is. Yes, I can tell. We all need some Rust. All right. So we got that. I think I want one for the end checksum as well, which, goodness, I was just going to copy paste it. This should be end. Oh, you're working on that last problem in error handling and wrestling. Nice. All right. One of those fun moments. Database checksum mismatch. Where are we at? Fix these, fill match arms. So this was an interesting point here. Using cursor actually favored going through and using cursor to write this out instead of Rust Analyzer because it actually saves me a little bit more time, which great. Okay. Streamer stream. Yeah, we'll get to you, stream. Your time is coming. Okay. Oh, commit record. You will be used. All right. This is now end. Checksum mismatch. Good. Now, can I toss these into some other validation? Like a checksum, validate checksum or something. Validate checksums for the database page. What are we returning? An option to a result. Why do we need to return anything at all? No, I just want kind of a quick and dirty little question mark boom. Let's just say, hey, we're doing that. Same the caller. It's done. I think at this point, we actually have to save information into the database and send it along. All right. And life moments. Kid's like, hey, where's that axe? I want to cut some wood. It's like, okay, well, find some adult supervision and have at it. You know, so that's a bonus for having older and younger kids. Oh, what are we doing? Okay. Save the pages into the DB. Now it's not really called self pages. I thought we had something already. Self.db. What was it? Why? No, no. Raw storage. Set database page. What's this thing do? Stores a database page with all necessary metadata in a transactional manner. This method is a core function for saving database page and associated metadata. Stores the database checksum information with transaction ID. Okay. Stores a mapping from reverse transaction. You got it. Stores the actual page data. I think that should be done in kind of reverse order, actually. Okay. If any fails, we attempt to undo it. Arguments. Yep, lots of stuff. Database info key at checksum. Is this done in the right order? Database info at checksum. I think it might be. Let's see. Pull this aside over here, collapse this for a moment. So we want database info. That's, I hope, what this is. Database info at checksum. Checksum, shard checksum database name. Shard checksum. Okay, let's look for checksum. So it's doing this one. That's okay to do first. And then what? Page data. Great. Second. Love it. It's that one. Why are there two of these? No, this comment is wrong. Database transaction ID key would be this one. That's really this here. Let's update this comment. Let's make sure. Database page data key. Yep. Page data, database name. Oh, we have it in the comments. Lovely. So we just hover here. So that's page data. Checksum, transaction ID, here, TXN ID, which is that one. So yes, this one is wrong. Let's just copy that here. Can I just, ooh, look at that. Nice and easy to grab. And that doesn't map to page checksum. Oh, it does. Okay. So those three pieces, checksum to transaction ID, those three are done. Okay, we try to save those. Everything goes well. Good. Okay. So it doesn't do the info or database state. That's okay, because this is just set database page. Oh, we'll be able to get rid of this allow dead code. Okay. So we still need to handle these two pieces, which I suspect we would want. Let's see. Because that would be more of a update current. So when the transaction is completely done, right? When we get that, what is it? It's not a checkpoint. When we get the last thing on the what is it? It's called I thought it was on the request. Is it on chunk? Chunk. Commit record. Okay, so if on the commit record, then we would update the other two. These two here. Oh goodness. And Camdilm, the theme itself is from Cursor, so I just picked one. Normally I use Challenger Deep, which I absolutely love, but this one here, I ended up going with the Cursor Dark High Contrast because I thought it popped better on the stream. Um, Occasionally I'll check it out on my phone, and I think in bright light this ends up popping better. Yeah, my go-to is Challenger Deep. So if you ever want to explore other themes, it's this one. I do like how the high contrast version of the theme I am using just pops though. Yeah, cheers. Okay, so we end up saving the database page here. Be fine. And then after the pages, if it we save, okay. Lots of data to pass through. Page checks and page number. I think we have all of this. Transaction ID is actually different. It's a different kind of transaction ID. How much did I know about SQLite internally when I started this project? Um, None. No, I took it upon myself to do a lot of reading, both their documentation and source code. Their documentation is great in that they have documentation. It's kind of crappy in that it doesn't reference it. Like it doesn't have like cross references, and sometimes the organization doesn't make sense. So do that. And this. I'm going to delete this here because that was for an AI. I was trying to get AI to do some coding. So we'll set the database page, fill this in. And part of this fun that I've been having is trying to find efficient ways to do storage and retrieval using things like TIKV. Right? TIKV is a pretty neat technology. Well, I'm not building SQLite, right? That's another step function here. That's way more. Um, However, I think there is a like a Rust build a SQLite from scratch. I think there's a blog post on this. Yeah, here it is. Jeffrey, this guy. Yes, this one. Let's toggle that. Dev.to. Okay. And I'm going to star that. Whatever, just save it. This guy has some neat stuff. Um, there's only a couple parts so far. And build your own SQLite, part one, listing tables. It goes through saying, okay, well, how do you know what the table structure is? Right. It starts to explain the database file format. I came across this because I was interested in the database file format itself, which SQLite has some really great docs on already. But it just happened to land in my search results when I was looking. Um, it's also, we're using Rust and whatnot, and I was trying to save some time by not re-implementing the world. I think in the future, I'm going to be coming back to this in order to, instead of sending pages across, sending just what changed in a page, basically doing like a page diff. I think in that case, I could reduce the size of the data transmission. A little bit more CPU, a little bit more file I/O. However, I would expect that it's it's a trade-off, right? And I think it would be a good trade-off to do. So eventually I'll probably come back to this and try to build a SQLite diff um, that's based on the pages. So, but it's a fun read. Let's see. I wanted to get to the list. Where's their list of? Just click here. Okay, they have Mojo SQLite, Part 1, Part 2, Scanning Large Tables. Where was they had? I thought they had 5 parts to this. Maybe it isn't this guy? I thought it was. Let's see, SQLite. Um, yeah, I thought there was a 5-part tutorial on this. And the latest one was building out queries. Anyhow, oops, clicked on. Oh, that cursor thing. What was that? No, let's go back. Latest is 0.48. And what am I using? Sorry, little 0.48.7. Okay. I'm on the beta channel. All right, so let's get this working. We already have a function for this. What sort of errors is this going to throw? This is DB error, archive DB error. Great. Lots of theory, yes. But I'm just looking to move data. That's much simpler. Okay. Holy cow. It is raining. Raining hard. Oh, was not expecting that. Okay. I had my noise canceling headphones off of one ear because the kids kept coming in and I had to put it back on. Okay. It was there just a minute ago. See, I think this is okay. I like this because we end up saving to these 3 in one go, right? We set up the requests, we then do a try join on them. So they all attempt to execute at the same time, which is perfect. In the Northeast. No, I live in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah. So we set those 3. This, I don't expect to have to change very often. This one, database info. You know what? It wasn't raining, it was hailing. And yeah, outside's turning white again. All right. Let's get this code called. Trying to go back, back, back. There we go. Shard. We can pass that through. Where is shard? It was passed in. It's right there. What? Why don't you like this? Expected unit found. Oh, dot elite. Fine. DB name. Is that correct? We do have DB path. Let's pass the path through. There we go. DB checksum. This is the checksum. This is the end checksum, I believe. We'll check. DB checksum. The checksum of the entire database with this applied. Okay. So this is our end DB checksum. And we could return that. Let's return that. Oh, we don't need to. My mistake. It's already been calculated. We validated it. It is on the pages. Page dot end DB checksum. DB page count. Is that's not in every, that's part of the commit record. Number of pages here. Check some key data. We don't know that. Oh, boo. Okay. So this does have to happen later as well, because it's tied to the transaction ID. So we have the checksum. Where is it now? Database checksum here. So given this namespace of the shard namespace, database name, database checksum. So this can't be here. That's too bad. Where does this get called? A couple places. A context. That's a definition. This is where we're currently at. And then these two. It's in some tests. Create database and mutate database. Okay. Well, we can update those tests. It's just too bad that we can't set that at the same time. I was hoping to have 3 things being set, not just that one. So we should not get the same page twice in a transaction. And it's not guaranteed that this request actually contains the here you go again. Commit record. So basically we're going to save these two things over and over again. Then when the commit record comes through, we save this, this, and that. Okay. I'm surprised that these two aren't being saved together like the other function. Those tests must be saving these individually. Yeah, because of that number of pages. Drat. All right, well, let's change this up. It's no longer going to do this one. We don't have DB page count. We can have a transaction ID. It's a bummer. Yeah, that checksum futures goes away. Check to see now if there's only two. Everything's successful. Great. Gonna set database page. That goes away. God. Okay. Interesting. Checksum's not used. Let's double check. Page checksum fine. Page data. Great. All right. Let's make another version of this. A database state, something like that. I don't know what it's going to take, but let's see. We will want this. And we'll do the same. Have the async attempt. Although it's a little different. If we fail, we actually have to be able to roll back, and I don't know that we have that. If these fail and leave data behind, quite frankly, it's okay because they're orphaned at this point. But if these fail, this one is okay. It would still be orphaned until the database checksum is referred to here. I think we need to do a compare and swap for this one. Did I have something for that? Get databases. Find most recent page transaction. No. Sent. Yeah, then my generic pieces. Okay. Let's go to DB. I thought I had a compare and swap. We have set. Good. This is the same place where we were. Here we go. Compare and swap error. Bunch of errors. Storage trait has compare and swap. Okay. Where's that used? Here. Oh, storage for test storage. Okay, that's not helpful.